Hi everyone, I'm Steve Beagleman, CEO of SMB Franchise Advisors. We're a franchise consulting firm that's helped over 500 brands span through the franchise model. I'm here with Josh today to talk to you all about franchising and to educate you on why SMB Franchise Advisors is all about the relationship. Josh, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic on this beautiful, beautiful Friday. I'm excited to be with you, Steve. And I know your motto, it's all about the relationship, is something that I have a close tie to because, networking, just surrounding yourself with people that, you believe are the best of the best in whatever industry has, fast tracked my success and whatever it is I'm passionate about. So I love the motto that you guys have. I'd be curious, Steve, where did this idea originally come from of it's all about the relationship?
Josh, I've been in franchising, as you know, for over 35 years. And I pride myself in the franchise industry as being relationship guy first and foremost. Franchising is all about relationships, in my opinion. It's how I built my successful career in franchising. And when I started SMB Franchise Advisors, I wanted our consulting firm to be a little bit different than everybody else. While we do a phenomenal job at helping launch people into franchising or helping existing franchisors grow to the next level, the most important thing to me was to have amazing relationships with our franchisor partners and really make them part of our franchise family. We truly are a franchise family at SMB. So for me, the relationship part was so critical as we grew the business. And it's why we've actually worked with over 500 brands across the country.
That's awesome, Stephen. I'd be curious, kind of like going back into your early background, kind of getting started. I know you had a lot of success at an early age, launching your own business at the age of 21, later selling that business at the age of 24. And, most people can't even think about doing things like that. So I'd be curious, how did, mentorship, surrounding yourself with other people, how did that impact you at such an early age? Most people are 21, still trying to figure out what they even want to do in life, probably applying to different corporate America jobs. But how are you already on your own, launching a business? Did you have mentorships or voices in your head that kind of led you down this path, or how did that all begin?
Yeah, no, great question, Josh. So I had some great mentors in business. My dad, my grandfather, actually got me started in franchising at an early age, while my buddies were, working in the movie theater, working at some of the fast food restaurants in town. I was actually selling franchises in college and had maps like the one behind me here in my college dorm, talking to potential franchisees and selling franchises as an 18, 19-year-old kid for my family's business. And that kind of got me started. And I was doing franchise shows on the weekends, had a briefcase in my car, went to class in slacks and a dress shirt. People like, why is this guy dressed up? But I was literally meeting potential franchisees after class, talking about the business, and just was very entrepreneurial. Thought there was a need in the food delivery industry. So everybody knows DoorDash and Grubhub, Uber Eats. But none of those companies existed back in 1991 when I started Black Tie Express, our food delivery concept, while I was in college. And then, launched it into franchising after I graduated college, grew the business to, well over 30 franchisees, and then sold the company, as you said, when I was 24 years old. So my dad, my grandfather, met some amazing people in franchising at an early age. One of my mentors, who is no longer with us, was a great, great man, Harry Boyle, who was the treasurer of the IFA for many, many years. Also owned a business called Moto Photo, which was a 1-hour type of film processing concept back in the day when people, had their pictures printed. And he was a great mentor for me. Ended up becoming an amazing friend of 30 plus years and a business partner in a business we were involved in. So I learned a lot from him, from family, and just that got me my start franchising. And ever since, I've been wanting to give back to people to help educate people like you and everybody else on what a great industry the franchise industry truly is for people.
Yeah, no, and it really is such a great industry, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. And I'd be curious, I know we're going to fast track your career a little bit from when you're 24 selling the business to launching SMB Franchise Advisors, but you had a lot of great mentors along the way. You achieved massive success, and now you've really created like a massive network of resources for anyone to learn about franchise their business, take their franchise to the next level. What was like the moment where you realized, you wanted to do something like SMB Advisors, where, really what you do is, you give back to other people in the franchising community, and, you've learned, you've earned, and now you're returning to all those other people at this point. When did you start to realize, you wanted to create this massive network for all of these people in the franchising community?
After I spent probably another 15 plus years growing franchise brands for different companies, back at the end of 2009, beginning of 2010, is when I really decided I wanted to start this business and help other people fulfill their dreams by franchising their business, whether it's a tax preparation business, childcare, whatever business it might be. And it's just been an amazing ride. And as we say, it's all about the relationship. And that's really the most important thing for us as we grow these businesses across the country. For us, we want to work with great founders, great entrepreneurs who have the right culture, the right vision, and the right core values to really grow their business and are really passionate and care about the franchisees they put in the business, in their businesses. And for us, setting ourselves up with the right vendor partners is critical to be able to support all our franchisors. So for us, we want to make sure that we're always making the right introductions for our franchisors to help them support their franchisees in the way that they need to become successful. And by doing that, they need to be set up with the right vendors across the country as they expand their businesses. So that's really, really important.
No, that's awesome, Stephen. I want to really kind of break down, like, it's all about the relationship. You go, I remember applying the jobs in corporate America, and, every company, they say we have a really great culture, but then they have so much turnover. You talk to employees and they're not necessarily that happy. But from my understanding, can you talk about the employees at SMB Advisors, and how long have you actually been working with them? Can you talk about the culture? I understand, even going back to some of your previous experience, back to Rita's, all those employees from back then are still with you today. Can you talk about the importance of the motto, not only for other people, but literally inside SMB Franchise Advisors? You kind of live and breathe it's all about the relationship.
Yeah, as I've said, Josh, it is all about the relationship, and that is our tagline. That is our core values to us. And it is true with our own team members, people like Joanne Hoyer. Joanne's been with me for the last 20 years between Rita's and SolidWorks, and then starting SMB. Ed Gaubert, our CFO, has been with me also probably almost 20 years. So Ken Moran, our COO, also was with me at Rita's. So we have a lot of people that have been with us a long time. We believe in taking care of our team members. We believe in taking care of our franchisor partners. And we're always there for, some of the differences between us and some other consulting firms that might be out there are we have in-person events with our clients multiple times a year. Our other consulting firms don't really do that. I understand why. It's a ton of work, costs a lot of money, a lot of time, but our team believes in that stuff. I love getting together with our franchisor clients. I love bringing them together to share best practices on whether it's franchise sales or franchise operations or finance or marketing or whatever it might be, or meeting great vendor partners or hearing from keynote speakers, whatever the case may be. That stuff is important to give back. And we've always believed in that. And that's part of the reason that it's made us so successful, I think, as a franchise consulting firm. So we love to give back, and we encourage our franchisors to do that to their franchisees. So it's kind of the culture that we've created. It's all about the relationship, and then we try and instill that in our franchisors as well.
No, that's awesome, Stephen. I know I was with you in Philadelphia, or not Philadelphia, but in Pennsylvania at your latest annual party. And it's just really awesome to see so many people in franchisors, franchisees, brokers, vendors, like all people in the different aspects of franchising, all in one room, roundtable discussions, breakouts, just one-on-one conversations. And one of the things that's always stood out to me so much about the franchising industry is just competitors sharing secrets with each other. Like, even if there's two painting franchises, like their franchise developers are getting coffee together, cracking jokes, talking about different best practices. Like there is just so much alignment between all those good, successful franchises really wanting to see those success of other people. I'd be curious how, over the last couple of years, we've seen a little bit of a transition from online virtual learning. How important do you think those in-person events are in terms of really allowing that it's all about the relationship to live, breathe, and thrive?
Yeah, I still believe in person is critical when you can. Now, you can't always do that. And certainly we're on Zoom right now, right? So Zoom is not going anywhere, and it gives us the opportunity where you're in Miami, I'm in Pennsylvania right now, although I'll be in Florida next week, but we're not in the same place, and we're able to talk and then share our, the story with everybody across, the country and the world. So Zoom is a great thing, but at the same time, it's great to have these in-person events. And our annual SMB Franchise Advisors Summit is an invitation only to our current clients, our former clients. Even if you were a client 7 years ago, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, doesn't matter. You're invited to them forever. And it's a huge event. We had over 300 franchisors from all across the country, from 35 different states our franchisors came from, to learn and to share best practices and meet great vendors and have a big party at the end. We believe in having some fun too. So, we like to do that too. And then we have multiple other fun events throughout the year too, and webinars and newsletters and things like that. So I think that, while, virtual is great and it's helpful to get to more people faster, still that in person, being able to connect with people is really, really important. And clearly during COVID, it was hard to do that at the beginning, but I think people are getting back whenever possible and having the in-person events and Summit. It's tremendously successful, and we'll continue to do it for many, many years to come.
No, that's awesome. And I really like how even if, you're a former client, you're still giving them those same support resources, the ability to just network with other people in the industry. It's just, even though franchising creates hundreds of millions of jobs, there's just a few people in the industry. Once you start going to the different events, the conferences, the IFA that you mentioned, for example, you start seeing the same people at all those events, which I find so fascinating. So, your business right now, maybe you're thinking about franchising, you're listening to this conversation, you're getting a little bit of FOMO, your fear of missing out a little bit to a certain extent. If you're, not one of those 500 plus brands that you've worked with, can you give an example of kind of one of those businesses maybe that started to join the SMB network? What can they kind of expect? What kind of resources? What does that kind of like network look like? If you're a business, you have no idea what franchising is, you get into the SMB network, what starts to happen for that business?
Well, first and foremost, if somebody owns a business and they're thinking about franchising, or like you said, they have FOMO, they can certainly reach out to us, visit our website at smbfranchising.com, and then contact us. One of our franchise, directors will reach out to them, talk to them about their business, get a better understanding of where they are with their current business. And maybe they're ready today and we can take them through our process. Or maybe we're going to tell them, listen, you're just not ready yet for franchising. However, if you put these pieces in place over the next 6 to 12 months, you will be ready. I mean, one of our most successful brands has hundreds of franchisees across the country. And when he first contacted me years ago, I told him he wasn't ready to franchise. And he told me, well, what do I have to do? And I gave him a list of things to work on. And a year and a half later, he called me up and he said, Steve, I did everything you told me. I'm ready. And now he was, and I helped him grow. And now he's in hundreds of markets across the country. So that doesn't mean, just because you're not ready today doesn't mean you'll never be ready. And you may be ready and just not sure. And we'll take you through our process and get a better understanding of if you are. And if you are ready, we'll take you through the process of working with our 15 plus team members, helping you get what's called your FDD, your franchise disclosure document, complete with the franchise attorneys that we work with, write your franchise operations manual, which is the step-by-step playbook that a franchisee is going to follow to operate the business to your standards. Okay. and then get the content up on the website for franchising and owning your own franchise in that particular business, getting the discovery day presentation, all these things, all these components, or what we refer to as the pillars, complete to help you successfully launch into the franchise industry. Franchising is a whole new business, Josh. And while somebody may own a very successful business, dry cleaning business, as I said, pet care business, food business, whatever it may be, right? But franchising is a different business. You're going into a whole new industry of expanding your business, which is super cool, right? I remember I had somebody in the junk industry join our system 10 years ago, and they had like 10 trucks in the junk business. And they said, you know what my goal is? I said, no, what's that? They said, I want to have 1,000 trucks, but I don't want to own any of them. I want to be a franchisor and be a really good franchisor and not operate the business, with the 10 trucks on the street. And you know what? He grew the business to over 1,000 trucks, all franchised, sold the company to private equity. He had the great private equity exit. And we have, a lot of our clients that do that. I probably spent 20-30% of my time now doing PE exits for our clients, which is a whole lot of fun. But there's a lot of work between your initial business, launching it into franchising, growing it in franchising, and then getting to that private equity time of doing that.
No, that's awesome, Steve. I appreciate that. And I think that's a lot of insight for a business. It's such a big difference between having a successful business and then turning into the world of franchising. Like, it doesn't matter how successful that business is. It does not mean that you will have success franchising. And I think it's really valuable. Like, we're really just here to educate people. Like, when you talk to a business owner that talks to you guys, for example, you're not saying, sign this check and then we're going to give you advice. You're giving them like a checklist of things to do so that they can be in a better position to take that business to potentially franchise. Because there's a lot of franchise consultants out there, and they'd much be happier just taking that check and then saying, oh, we're going to help you franchise. And that's why, there's so many great franchises out there, but there's, a lot of bad franchises out there as well. Because, just like any industry, there's good apples, there's bad apples. So one of my best pieces of advice for anyone in franchising is, whatever company it is, whatever person you're dealing with, are they selling you information or are they telling you information? And here, we're literally just here to tell you about different opportunities, give you different information so that at the end of the day, you can make an educated decision and potentially see if franchising is that next stage of growth. So, Steve, do you have any kind of last piece of advice for that business owner that's potentially going into those next stages as we wrap up today's video?
Yeah, Josh, I would just tell people, look, franchising is a lot of hard work. It's not easy. It's like starting your own business. When you opened your own business, whatever business it was, dry cleaner, pizza shop, whatever it was, franchising your business is the same thing. If people call us up and say, oh, franchising, it's going to be real easy, I'm going to work 3 hours a week, but that's not the right solution. Franchising is not the growth vehicle. Right? Franchising is a lot of hard work. Is it a lot of fun? Yes. Is it rewarding? Yes. But it's a lot of hard work. And if you're excited about seeing your business expand outside of your core market, and you want to see more growth, and you want to take your business to the next level, franchising could be a great solution. But it's not for everybody. And we do tell people that. And like you said, there are consultants out there that may, tell people that anybody can franchise any business. That's not the case. We want to take the right people into franchising that it's the right fit for. And that's really, really important at the right time, right? Because sometimes timing just not right.
Yeah.
So like you said, we're here to educate. We want people to understand franchising is a great industry, whether you're becoming a franchisor or for somebody who wants to become a franchisee. I mean, as I've said before, there's over 3,000 franchise opportunities out there for people, Josh, right? So lots of different opportunities. But franchising is a great industry, but it is a lot of work as a franchisor or even as a franchise.
Yeah, and once you get into franchising, I don't know a lot of people that leave the world of franchising, so it really is very much like a marriage. So it really is all about the relationship in the world of franchising. So make sure you're evaluating the culture, the growth opportunities that we've alluded to on an earlier video. But if you found value in this video, you're curious about taking your business to the next level, potentially becoming a business owner, you want to know what the heck is the world of franchising, check out the website in the bio, hit the notification bell, like, share, comment, subscribe, help out the algorithm, and let's build a community of people just aligned with the mission of helping other people in the world of franchising. So thank you so much for everyone for tuning in. Steve, thanks so much for giving everyone your insights and advice today.
Hey, thanks, Josh. Everybody have a great day.